So which do you prefer more? Like, I know, like, you know, these festivals are, like, you know, bigger venues, but, you know, do you prefer, like, a festival type atmosphere or those, like, more intimate club shows?
I'll tell you, like, if you give us, you know, a club that holds 500 people and get 500 really genuine 10 Years fans in there, that's our dream come true.
Yeah.
That's the best, because these festivals are great, and they're great for a lot of reasons. I mean, it's really neat to see the other bands on the bill. It's a fun environment. You know, it's great exposure for the band. It's just the downside is you're so far away from the fans. It's so big. You know, playing for us on this tour, we're playing at 5 p.m., which, hey, we'll play anytime. We don't care. But, you know, the crowd at that time, there's still people filing in. So, and just the lack of intimacy is a little bit, it's still, you know, you can't complain about playing amazing, huge venues, but we like being sweaty and nasty and right next to the fans and, you know, slapping fives with them and diving in the crowd and stuff like that. That's what we feed on. That's, you know, how we thrive. So, yeah, I mean, I think everybody in the band probably is into just a small club environment.
That's cool. So, what has been one of your most memorable tour experiences so far?
There's been quite a few, but honestly, you know, for the most part, most of us in the band are huge Metallica fans, and we grew up on that stuff. And we got to play Download Festival with them in like Dublin, Ireland. And that was like, I think it was 25th anniversary of Master of Puppets album.
Wow, okay.
So they played that entire record from start to finish. And, you know, for us, you know, being just a group of kids from Knoxville, Tennessee, who's like just stoked to be out here doing this, to see that, to be a part of something like that was like ridiculous. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So did I read that I know Rage Against the Machine was rehearsing next door to where you guys were rehearsing for everything, so I heard that had some kind of influence, or it was just kind of a neat experience.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, that band was...
I would get geeked.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, they're definitely... they didn't necessarily influence our sound, but when we were younger, they certainly made us all want to pick up an instrument, you know? And I mean, still to this day, one of my favorite bands of all time. So, it was funny. We walked into this rehearsal room, and the place we were at, and it was like in North Hollywood. It only had 2 rehearsal rooms, but they were big rooms. So we, you know, there's some other cars in the parking lot, and we knew that if there was anybody else there, it would just be one other band. So we kind of walk in, and we hear just distant noise, you know, and we can't really tell what it is yet. And the closer we get, I'm like, God, that sounds a little familiar, you know? And then we just walk right up by their room, and they're playing, you know, like Bulls on Parade or something. And I'm like, that can't really be, you know? And I look at one of the guys that's working there, and he's going, yep. So, yeah, we would literally just geek out and stand outside the room and listen to them for a minute, and then they would stop, and we'd like be like, run, go, don't let him see you. And then we'd go back to our room and start jamming. And when we actually, we showed up to LA thinking, okay, because we had at that point 20 or 30 something songs ready to record, you know? So we were like, well, I guess we'll just rehearse in this room for a little bit and kind of just, you know, fine tune everything, pick the songs we want to record, and then go in and do them. But then we met with our producer, Howard Benson, right when we got there, basically, and he came in, we went over a bunch of songs, and he was like, you know, I kind of feel like, why don't you guys just stay in rehearsals for an extra week or two and just write some new stuff. If nothing comes of it, that's fine. If something does, great, you know, we're not crunched for time, and especially we record very efficiently, we work quick, so we, you know, it was kind of a relaxed thing. We're like, alright, let's just, you know, hang out and write and see what happens. Well, I mean, honestly, half of the album was written just in that week.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, I mean, we had all these other songs, but I think, you know, just being out there, maybe just, you know, being around Rage and all that, and just kind of catching a vibe, and you know, it puts you in a different headspace when you're writing songs sitting at home in Tennessee, you know, and you're doing things with the family. You're in, you know, this headspace here, and it's a very specific one. Then when you're, you know, you fly on the plane and you're with your buddies and you go out to Los Angeles and you're in this big, cool rehearsal room with Rage Against the Machine next door, that's a completely different headspace. So we just started writing, and next thing you know, Howard's even like, yeah, these songs are great, we have to record them. So that's, I mean, that really helped shape the album, the tone of it, the vibe, everything.
That's good.
Yeah.
So what are some of your goals for the rest of the year?
Really just making more people aware of the band. Right now, you know, we're kind of stuck in this little stage that's 10 years. They did Wasteland. Oh, Wasteland, yeah, I know. You know, we're the Wasteland band, and it's time for us to grow up a little bit. It's time to graduate. We got to get past that, and this is the album for us that we feel is going to do it. I think, you know, when more people get shoot it out and get used to it, you know, then hopefully, you know, that'll help us branch out, win over some new fans. And we have some songs on this album that we're just so proud of, and I think are so strong that I think are going to really, you know, make people who maybe didn't give us a chance before, I think they're going to listen this time.
I love Fix Me. I hope that
and that's one of those songs. Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. So what is the best way for fans to keep up to date with you guys? You know, are you active on the social media and everything?
Yeah, I mean, all the usual, the MySpace page, Facebook, Twitter. We've been actually a little lazy with the Twitter lately, but
Twitter too.
But we go through our phases, you know.
Yeah.
So it'll be like 1 week where we're like tweeting like 20 times a day, and then we don't do it for 2 weeks or whatever, you know. But yeah, we're on those, and it just should be under 10 years, 10 years.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, is there any final message or comment you'd like to share with our site visitors at PCM?
Just check out the album. I mean, we appreciate all our fans so much too. So anyone that has supported us, you know, from the beginning of our career to now, thank you so much.
Great. Thank you.